Right, good afternoon everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for stopping by. I hope you're all doing well wherever you happen to be in the world right now. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing, dropping a like on the video to get me out to a wider audience, and any comments or questions that you may have, please feel free to leave them down below and I will get back to you as soon as I possibly can. I'm going to be talking about Solana today. I've mentioned it in several of my previous videos, but I've just read an article where they allude to the fact that things are starting to look better within the ecosystem and it may be recovering from the FTX disaster that happened. I believe it was November last year. Before I get to that, I'll go over the cryptocurrency market just to see how things are looking, because I know things are down slightly today. So we've got a market cap of $1.17 trillion, which is down 3.25% over the last 24 hours. We've got 24-hour trading volume of $41.15 billion, with Bitcoin dominance sitting just below 50%, currently trading at $30,154. Ethereum, $1,800, still not made it through that $2,000 mark, but I would imagine that's just a matter of time. What else throughout the top 10? A lot of things have pulled back today. You've got like near 2-3%. Everything's pulling back. Though Solana has just popped its head above $20, which it's been looking to do so for a while. And considering it slipped well out of the top 10, it's now currently in 9th place, up 7.85% this week, which I believe is the biggest gainer this week out of all the top cryptos. So it is, I wouldn't say on a tear up, but it is doing well this week. As for the biggest rises of the last 24 hours, this eCash, which I mentioned yesterday in one of my previous videos, appears to be doing well. It's not something I'm especially aware of, but it's doing quite well. As I say, it's a fairly flat day. You've even got meme coins, stable coins, BUSD, Tether, USDC, USDD. There necessarily, that shows you how flat things are in the market today. There's not any real gainers. 7 days, the biggest gainer, Maker, GRT, and then Solana is the 9th biggest gainer of the week. Moving on to the Solana chart, just to see how things are looking there, you can see we've had a pretty positive few days. We did find support around $14 region. We've managed to break above the daily the daily 50. Using that support, we pulled back to it a couple of times. We've tested the daily 100. This is the third test of it, really. Looking like we could close above it today. There was a big wick above yesterday, and yeah, pulled back and closed around $19.62. But you know, $20 is pretty much a key level. If we can close above $20, then we're going to be looking a lot more bullish. We've got positive momentum. MACD and signal line are both above zero and pointing upwards. The moving averages, the 50 and the 100, are both flattening off, and they could start to kink up over the coming days. Let's move down to the 4-hourly just to see what the MAs are looking like there. So yeah, they're both sloping up. Prices above both, with the 50 being above the 100. That's a very bullish signal. Positive momentum. MACD cross with a signal line, so things are looking quite good chart wise. Just check for any, there is a bearish divergence though, which I can't deny, between this high here and this high here, which is sort of played out to a certain extent. It could, yeah, it may have done what it has to do, but that's worth bearing in mind. But I believe anywhere, obviously not financial advice, anywhere below or around $20 is a decent price to be getting at Solana when you go out to like the weekly chart or the monthly rather, and look at the all-time highs. We've been as high as $260, so if we can get anywhere near that, even we get to $100, $150, we're going to be doing well. Personally, I'm holding over 100 Solana, so no, it's not a massive amount of money, but I'm quite pleased that, you know, going into the bull run, that could be worth a hell of a lot more than it is at the moment. Let's go back down to the daily, because everything gets far too condensed when you're on the monthly charts, because, you know, even though crypto's been around, it's still a very young market, and even if you're only getting into it now, you're still very early. You can see we've got this resistance at $26. That's where the crash happened. It was sitting around $37, and then was that November? Yeah, that's when FTX crashed. We were already in a bit of a bear market. FTX crashed and it came all the way down to $9. I bought the majority of mine not at $9, I'd say around between $10 and $15. That's when I started accumulating. I will continue to accumulate at these prices as well. You know, it's got legs, and this, you know, the circulating supply. If we go to their page, what's their total circulating supply? Is 401, nearly 402 million Solana. So that's their circulating supply, which is tiny. You've got a lot of coins out there with billions in circulation. So obviously, the lower the circulating supply, the bigger chance you've got for growth, really. Because unless they start minting things, but I don't know the contract well enough to know if they can do that. So the sentiments, bullish. Why is Solana trending? Probably because it's up 7.5% this week, mate. That's probably the reason, mate. I think you're a lady. I do apologise. You've got to be very careful how you gender people these days. Solana, next stop, $18 or $21. I'd edge towards $21 looking at the chart. $20.17. Yeah, $21 I'd say would come closer. And then you get into the sort of shelling of other sorts of coins the further you go down. Solana, every time down shit. I'm not really sure what he's trying to say there. Maybe English isn't his first language. I'm bullish on Sol and what's that? Jim? Never heard of it, but I'm bullish on Solana, as I'm sure you're aware. So moving on to this article, I'll link it down below because every time I read an article, I completely butcher it. The problem being, out the corner of my eye, I'm watching sport at the moment. I'm watching cricket, so I sort of get distracted and my eyes sort of wander, so I'm going to try and focus on it anyway. So top analysts predict Solana could break above major resistance against Ethereum. Solana is rubbing shoulders with Bitcoin and Ethereum as it records some weekly growth and booming network activities. The weighted funding of Solana across various exchanges shows positive numbers. Crypto trader Kaleo has in the latest report identified a strong resistance line in Solana's pair with Ethereum, indicating a massive rally against the second largest crypto by market cap. With the current price of $20 and a neutral sentiment, Solana has stood toe-to-toe with Bitcoin and Ethereum in the past week with an 8% surge. In comparison, Ethereum is down 1.07% in the last 7 days, and Bitcoin is 1.6% down over the same period. Interestingly, Bitcoin and Ethereum have current bearish market sentiment. According to market data, Solana has also surged by 2.7% in the last 24 hours and has recorded a 24-hour trading volume of $952,910,045. In addition, the rising market cap, which currently stands at just over $8 billion. This altcoin has been the possible destination for several Web3 users as its ecosystem activities see a huge acceleration. According to DeFi Llama, Solana is ranked 6th in weekly decentralized exchange volume. In percentage-wise, this is an 85% surge. Its accumulated volume has so far surpassed 57 billion. Another area of growth is the trading volume of NFTs on Solana, which is what got me interested in Solana in the first place, the amount of NFTs that were built upon Solana. The USD volume for Solana is getting closer to 3 million, which is a little higher than the previous year. Despite these positive numbers, its TVL has been unencouraging after falling in November in 2022 and making little to no progress afterwards. That's when the FTX thing happened. So how Solana bounced back from FTX saga. As of press time, the TVL was around 270.5 million. Unfortunately, there's no sign of any future upward trend. Apart from this, all other metrics indicate that investors are regaining confidence in the asset after the FTX saga sent the price plummeting. While Solana has limited exposure to the failed crypto exchange, FTX and Alameda Research reportedly held a portion of the asset on their balance sheet. On top of that, the altcoin was frequently praised by the FTX founder Sam Bankman-Fried, as I like to call him. So according to Steve Sosnick, chief strategist at Interactive Brokers, the lack of intrinsic value of these cryptos causes them to easily suffer. Data analytics firm CoinGlass has noted that Solana has improved its overall market sentiment in the past week. According to them, the weighted funding rate has recorded some positive figures across different exchanges. This indicates that investors are expectant of a future price surge. Data also indicates that investors have a prevalent preference for long positions for the asset. Analysts believe that the recent data could potentially attract new investors and drive its value since it paints a picture of a positive outlook. Its recent performance is found to be a great comeback after the asset lost some of its gains together with Bitcoin, Ethereum and Litecoin. Interestingly, the price staged a comeback after the US Securities and Exchange Commission filed a lawsuit against Binance and Coinbase for offering unregistered securities. This is quite interesting considering the fact that Solana, together with some other altcoins, were categorized as securities in the lawsuit. After trading below $15, the asset bounced back from its June low to record a 48% surge. So sort of a mixed bag there, but predominantly people are starting to regain faith in this asset, and the chart reflects that. If you look, we've since the 15th of June, like we wicked down quite as low as $13, and then we really found support around the $14.81. We'll say $14, that was where we found genuine support, and we're breaking above these key moving averages. I don't actually. There's a descending trend line there. If we could break through this at some point, come on, I want to do a trend line. Is there one there? Slightly. It looks like we're breaking through it. If we can close above that, that would be interesting. So yeah, it all depends on today's close, but no one can tell the future, but the chart is looking a lot better than it has been, and with investors starting to show a more bullish sentiment towards this asset, then I am going to continue to accumulate this. I don't give financial advice. I just share my thoughts, opinions, comments and criticisms on projects that I'm invested in, and Solana is one of the projects that I genuinely believe in as a good future. It's got real utility. Hundreds of NFT projects are built upon it, Web3 projects and whatnot. So I think I'm going to wrap it up for there. Wish you all a wonderful afternoon, evening, morning. I don't know where you are in the world, where you're watching, but yeah, thanks for your time. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.